Hi everyone, it's Vicky here from Crafty Heaven and thank you very much for joining me today. And today we're going to be making some faux rice paper. So I saw this video on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the video description bar where I got this idea from, and I thought it was really good. And you will more likely have the supplies in your craft stash to do this. So this one, I start off just using the glue on its own with no coffee in it. And then I added some coffee to the glue and I just went over it very, very lightly just to give it that, you know, light colour of the coffee. And as you can see, this one turned out a lot better. Now, the lady said in the video it'd be better to use a napkin that has a white background, but this one here, this is what it looked like. So I think it still turned out really nice, and I think it's how you prefer it. If you want it really dark like that, or if you wanted it really light, then the choice is yours. And today I'm going to try it with this one and also this one, and this is actually a creamy colour. I think it's showing white on the camera. So like I said, we're just going to have a play and see. So there are the samples that I've made. So the supplies you'll need is some PVA glue, and I just picked this one up from the works and it dries clear. You will also need a large paintbrush, some pots to put your glue in. You also need some coffee, which I haven't got yet, and also some non-stick baking and greaseproof paper. And of course you're going to need some napkins first. We need to peel off the the backing of the napkin. I'm not entirely sure how many on here. So, and you need to make sure that you get all of these off the back of your napkin. It looks like I've got 2 on here, so I'm going to attempt to try and get this second one off. So just carefully peel it off. And you can always save these ones because you can, make these into the rice paper as well. So keep hold of them. So here we have our napkin. So we need to put some greaseproof paper down. So I'm actually going to get my glass mat because I don't want to ruin this. So you're going to have to excuse the ring light on here. So I'm going to lay some greaseproof paper down. And this is to stop your napkin from sticking to your surface, and it makes it easier to peel up as well. So we're going to lay our napkin on top of there, but now we need to make our mixture. So I'm going to add just PVA glue and some water to mix it up, and the water is just to make it a bit more watered down, and it's more pliable to to go over the napkin, because if you leave it too thick, it will rip it. So okay, so I'm not entirely sure how much glue I put in. I just really guess it, to be fair. So let's pour some in. Okay, so about that much. And we need to add some water to this. So I've just got a jug of water here, and I've got one of these, I don't know what they're called. I'm just going to add a few drops of water in there. I might need to add some more. Okay, so I'm going to mix this up and see what that's like. I don't want it too runny. If it's ends up being too watery, we can add more glue, but it needs to be the right consistency to be able to spread over your napkin really easily, and also it makes the process a lot quicker. So you can see that's still a bit too thick, so I want to add a bit more water. So I'm actually just going to pour it in, and I might regret this, but Okay. If you want to do it with the coffee, which I might do in a second just to show you, you need to make up your coffee with warm water, mix that up, and then you would add it to your glue. And then the water that's in your coffee will also water down your glue. Okay, so that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my napkin to do it, because we need to apply glue on the underneath and also on the top. So I'm going to grab a pencil and I'm just going to tick mark the corners. So then that way I know how much glue I need to add to my greaseproof paper and make sure that I've got enough to cover the back of my napkin. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. So I know now that my glue needs to be in where those tick marks are. Hopefully that makes sense. Now this is not going to be able to fit in the camera, but I'll start doing it with you, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. To apply the glue, like I said, in that square that we've made, and we're going to just cover the whole lot. The last ones I did, I covered the whole sheet, and I think what I might do is I might add the first lot, you know, the first part of the napkin, and then add the glue underneath just to make it easier. So I'm going to place that on there, and if it creases up then that doesn't matter, because that's a part, you know, it'll just make it look more like rice paper. Okay, so I'm going to apply the glue to the rest, and then when I've done that I'll come back. Okay, so there we go. So that's now added, and don't worry about any of the air bubbles that are appearing, because they will just settle down. So now what we need to do is we need to apply glue carefully over the top of the napkin. Now if you find that it tears, I have a tiny little tear here, then just pull the napkin carefully across and it will fill it in. But to be fair, I like that. If it's got a hole in it, it gives it character, I guess. So, you know, it's just preference, isn't it, really? So we're going to go over carefully over the top of the napkin, and also the edges you want to just push in and crinkle them up and not leave them straight, because if you leave them straight it will make it more difficult to peel up off your greaseproof paper. It just gives it something for you to be able to put your finger, your nail underneath to be able to pick it up. Hopefully that makes sense. And it also gives it that rustic look as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole of my napkin, and then I'll be back. That is now covered, and as you can see I've gone around the edges and just pushed the napkin in with my brush. So that one's done, and this will obviously dry clear. And I was thinking of maybe distressing the edges or go over it slightly with the coffee, but I might leave this one as it is, and then when it's dry I might go over the edges with my vintage photo distressing and see what that looks like. But I'm going to put this to one side, and then we can do the next one with the coffee. So I've got another pot, and I've added just some warm water, and I've added a teaspoon of coffee, and as you can see it's got the bits in it, and you're going to just go ahead and stir this until it all dissolves. So that looks pretty good to me. So we need to add some more glue into this pot that we was using, and obviously the water in the coffee will water down the glue, but if we need to add some more water then we can do. So I'm just going to pour this in, or shall I put okay, I'm just going to do it this way. So that's 2 3. So let's have a look at that, what that looks like with 3 teaspoons of coffee. Looks like a latte now, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to add 1 more teaspoon, I think. There we go. So you can see that's quite runny, so that's going to be really nice to apply to our napkin. So I'm going to put that to one side for the minute. Okay. So let's apply the glue to the sheet. And just press that down very carefully so you don't rip it. And then we're going to carry on adding the glue to the rest of the back of the and then we can carry on. You see this one here, this is one of the backing of the napkins, so I'm going to go over that with the coffee one and give this a bit more of an age look, and then obviously I'll show you that at the end. But leave them to dry overnight, or if you're doing it in the morning, you know, you can leave them for a couple of hours and you'll be good to go. But yeah, I'll be back when they are dried. So they're now dry, and here is those 2 script napkins, and here is the one that was the first layer, and then this one was the second layer. So as you can see, the writing's a lot more fainter than the first one, but it still turned out really nice. I left this one to show you. So I said I was going to distress this with the vintage photo distressing, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so there we go. So now we're going to peel this up. So like I said, with the crinkling on the edge, this will make it easy for you to get your fingernail under there. And again, just be careful lifting it, it can still tear even though it's on the greaseproof paper. Okay, so once you've got the edge up, you can slowly peel it up. So there we go. So that is that one all covered. And then here are the other 2 that we also did. And then I have my samples here as well. I hope that was helpful. And like I said, I leave the link in the video description bar of the tutorial that I was following to get this idea from, and please go and check out their tutorial as well. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and yeah, take care guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye.